All right, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Jake, your favorite investor, aka Jake Light. And thank you so much for checking out this presentation on the Flip Secret Success Coaching Program. I know your time's super valuable, and I appreciate you sharing the next 10 or so minutes with us. And so with that being said, let's get straight down to the point, as concise as possible, and let's get it going. All right, so first and foremost, I think it's really important for you to understand my students have flipped thousands of houses using 100% other people's money. And when I say that, I truly mean without a dime out of our own pockets. We get the purchase price, the renovation costs, the closing costs, the holding costs, everything involved in the process of flipping houses. There's literally thousands of flips that my group has done. These are just a few examples of them. If you look at, let's say the top left, you got Vicky and Ruben. They're projected to make about $500,000 in net profit on that house. They actually just bought it last week. Very proud of them. Ruben came from the Dominican Republic, just got his citizenship in the United States. At first, they were hesitant because they didn't think that their English was good enough. Everybody kind of has these false belief patterns on why they can't get into the business. I think there are 10 or 12 flips into the game now, hundreds of thousands of dollars in profit. Let's see, who else do we got here? We have Faye Garza on the bottom left. She's signing, I think that picture is signing documents for her second flip in her first 4 or 5 months. She is in our 6-figure club. She's made over $100,000 in her first few months flipping houses, leveraging other people's money. She has kids at home. She has a full-time job, still able to do this. I mean, this is just a select few. A couple of the pictures I took from Instagram. Right there at the bottom, the guy with the sleeves rolled up, that's Ryan Rice. He is, I believe, 14 months into being associated with our programs. He's on flip number 25, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and as these sell, it's going to be millions of dollars in profit. Students all over the country, actually all over the world, have been able to apply these same formulas, these same calculations, these same strategies and tactics to successfully flip house in today's market. All right, and so a lot of times people, whether I'm at a group or if I'm at a speaking engagement or just on social media doing a live, they want to ask, what's the best way for someone to first start getting into real estate? And you guys, if you've done a Google search or checked out YouTube, there's literally hundreds of ways that you can do it. And I've done a lot of them, don't get me wrong. There's commercial buildings, there's being a landlord, there's subject to financing, there's creative financing, there's buying mobile home parks, lots, lands, there's being a lender. There's a lot of different ways. And again, I've done all of them. But the reason I put myself in position to be able to do a lot of those is because flipping houses is the absolute best way to get involved. I mean, if you think about it, you have to find a really, really good deal, right, at a discounted rate. You have to figure out how to fund that deal using private lenders, or you could use your own money, but most people leverage other people's money to get a better return. You have to fix the deal up, right? You have to renovate the property, put it into condition, the same as the neighborhood, and then you have to be able to sell the property for top dollar, generating a profit. Now, by being able to do that, you have the foundational pieces to kind of branch out and go any other way once you master this process. Also with flipping, with finding the house, funding the house, flipping the house, or fixing the house and then flipping the house. With that process, you can also wholesale, right? Which means you find the house, and rather than funding and fixing it up, you sell the rights to the contract to another investor. You have wholetailing, which is finding the house, funding the house, and put just a little bit of work into it and selling it on the open market for a profit. You have rentals, which is finding and funding the house, and rather than fixing it up and flipping it, you throw a renter in there and cash flow the property. But all of these are possible as long as you learn the right way to flip houses. All right, and so who can invest in real estate? Now, a lot of people think that you have to have a ton of cash saved up. I mean, they think you have to be a contractor. They think you need to know how to swing the hammer and do all that kind of stuff. They think you need some type of license or education level, or you need to be a real estate agent in order to flip houses in today's market, and yesterday's market too. You guys, I don't use my own money to flip houses, and I've done over 900 of them. I rarely ever step foot inside my flips. The only time I do is to take pictures and videos for social media stuff and for my programs. Anybody, regardless of the amount of time or experience that you have available, regardless of your financial situation, as long as you're using the right strategy, the right formulas, anybody can get into this game. And so whether you're brand new into house flipping or you're an experienced flipper, there's always things you can do to really either establish your initial momentum or really scale your business up. The picture on the left there, that's me, 2 years ago. I was walking through one of the houses that I had just bought, putting some content together for some of my students, kind of showing them some of the things that I see. The guy on the right, that's Deontay Terry. He's a firefighter, I think in Baltimore. He's been in our group since 4 or 5 months ago. He's on his second flip. This house right here, he was walking through it. This is a screenshot from a video. He made 40 grand supplemental income while he's working 60 hours a week. And with firefighting, it's not a 9 to 5, it's a 9 to 9. And he's not a contractor. And that flip, like I said, he made $40,000 in supplemental income, net profit on just one deal. And he's got a few other ones going on right now too. And so if time is ever an issue, or people think, oh, I got a 9 to 5, or I've got kids, or, I've got so much going on, those are false belief patterns. Anyone can do it. And I'm also going to tell you, let you on a little secret, inside of the walls, right? Outside of what drywall is, I really have no idea what's going on behind the walls of these flips. And you don't have to. You want to learn to find the right people, hire the right people so they can do that work while you run numbers, get the funding together, and eventually make very big profits on these deals. You don't need to know all that kind of stuff in order to play this game. So another question I get all the time, especially when I'm on social media doing Q&As and stuff like that, is can you invest in today's market? Like, is that possible? Can you flip houses in today's market? Short answer is yes, absolutely. My coaching groups, my students and I are having quite a bit of success right now in today's market, given the current environment. Now, some people think it's a super hot market, and some people think it's a cold market, right? Which is why I have both these pictures there. Some people think things are going to crash. Now, over the last 11 years that I've been in this business, over the last 900 plus flips that I've done them. I've successfully flipped in cold markets, hot markets, hyper appreciating markets, stagnant markets, depreciating markets. With each of them, if you run your numbers correctly, you can have a ton of success. There are a lot of strategies that we put into place that all deal with reading the trends for the neighborhood the property is in, where a lot of money can be made. There are benefits to up markets. There are benefits to down markets as long as you know how to play the game. And people have been saying for the last 10 years, like I said, the market's going to crash. Now, I don't think the market's going to crash, but if it did, my students and I are ready. I think it would be the biggest transition of wealth in United States history if that was to happen, which I don't anticipate that happening. But if that did happen, folks that are ready with the skill sets, with the tools, with the strategies, with the tactics, with the power teams, I'll be buying a property a day if something like that happens. Again, don't think it's going to happen. I'm not anticipating it happen, but if it did, it will be a huge transfer of wealth. I hope you're ready to get into it. All right, so what all is included in success coaching? So the Flip Secret Success Coaching Program, we teach people how to flip, how to wholesale, how to wholetail, which is kind of a new term, and to buy rental properties specifically by leveraging OPM, which is other people's money. We teach both new and experienced investors how to find the best deals in any market, in any economy, whether it's an up market, down market, doesn't matter where you're at, doesn't matter where you're located. There are flips all over the country. There's properties all over the country that are ripe to be able to make a profit off of. And again, you don't need to have any experience level or have, construction experience or anything like that to get involved. All right. We teach people how to buy and renovate those properties, leveraging 100% other people's money. And that comes in the form of private lenders. That's not a bank. That's not, the traditional mortgages. These are private individuals, oftentimes having funds up over $100 million, where they're actively looking for people, whether they're new or experienced, they're actively looking for people that have very profitable properties locked in under contract so they can literally battle each other to give you their cash to flip houses. And we teach people how to do that. How to build your real estate portfolio remotely. Okay, I am in Tennessee. I have properties from California to Florida, active flips that are going on all over the place. And we teach people how to do that regardless of what location that they're in, how to be able to use the entire United States as their roadmap, as their canvas that they can find opportunity in. Regardless of whether you're doing it in your backyard or a couple miles away or clear across the country, The process is the same. The money's available. How to find contractors is the same. The entire process is the same. If you're using the right strategy, if you're using the right system, it's the same regardless of what market you're looking in. And when you remove limitations of only looking in your own backyard, right, only looking in your city or only looking in your state, and really understanding that anything out there is available for you to purchase, to flip, to convert to a rental property, it really empowers all of us into understanding how much opportunity is truly out there for all of us, just as long as we know how to go and find it, as long as we know what to look for. And a lot of those key points on what to look for, they're right in front of all of our faces. You just need to know how to understand running numbers. All right. And then finally, how to automate the process. Look, I have my coaching programs. I'm involved in a lot of different businesses. And I do quite a bit with social media as well. The only way that I'd be able to do that, because I've got 24 hours in a day, just like you guys, the only way that I'd be able to do that is by automating the process. It's the only way that folks in my program that have 9-to-5s or that work double shifts or have the family or they're in school or a combination of all of that, that's the only way that they're able to flip, is to put a system in place that automates a lot of that tedious, time-consuming work. And that's really what makes way for buying our time back and being able to do what we want with that extra time. So we teach all of that, finding the best deals, getting OPM, building our portfolios remotely, and also how to automate that process. That's all part of our programs. And this also includes courses, masterclass, coaching, Zoom calls, networking, right? Networking groups, other people all across the country that are doing the same thing. I've got my documents, my templates, my scripts, my contracts. It's essentially my entire business on a model that I've shared with a lot of these people to the tune of thousands of successful flips. All right. And here's the question. Does it really work? These are screenshots from the last week. Top left, Puria. Is the market crashing? No, not for us. Received 12 offers, all full asking price. I accepted the best offer, $15,000 over asking, closing in 25 days. I think on that property is about to make $110,000, $115,000 on it. Below him, that's Ray from Manhattan. He sent me an interesting email, or not email, but DM. Cash portfolio is paying 0.5% right now. My investment portfolio is down 35% on the year. My crypto is down 64% this morning. But my real estate investments have made me $230,000 in profit year to date. I mean, I love being involved in this stuff. A lot of these folks end up turning into my friends, and I get motivated off them. They get motivated off my deals too. The one right there in the middle on the top, that's Nelfie. First deal done, closing today. So this was right before she closed. She made $47,000 in net profit just on her first deal. And when she first got in the coaching program, she had no idea whether she'd be able to do it. She was so skeptical. She was like, all these other people can do it, but I don't know if I have what it takes. I'm not special. Fast forward a couple months later, $47K in supplemental income to go on top of her 9-to-5 that previously she felt like she had a lot of pressure to pull overtime hours. Not working 9-to-5, but working 9-to-9, going in on Saturdays. And just one flip takes a lot of the pressure off. And she ain't doing just one flip, but just imagine how empowering just getting one flip, making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 would be. That's what these students are experiencing. I'm very proud of them. I get all lit up on reading these. I love when students send me this stuff because we work really hard at getting their mindset and getting their strategy in place to be able to put themselves in this position. The one there in the middle at the bottom, that's Lydia. Another one under contract. I was starting to miss this. This property is 2 minutes away from a house that I'm rehabbing. Purchase price $475, rehab $150, ARV, which is the resale projection, $815,000. The goal is to make a net profit of $90,000. We've got Allie in the top right. Officially under contract, Norwalk after 6 days on the market. Here's the numbers again. Purchase $220, rehab $148, list price $450,000, and she got it in her contract with a new buyer for $500K. She'll make $52,000 on that one single deal. She's made $200,000 plus since getting involved in the coaching at some point last year. And then the final one, that's Levi. Purchase price $115,000, reno and holding costs $58,000, sales price $230,000 or $229,900. Levi's an interesting dude because he lives in, I think, Montana or Wyoming. Get the two states mixed up. Sorry about that. But he's flipping all over the country. He and his partner Josiah are currently flipping in the Midwest, like 4 or 5 states away from his place in Montana, Wyoming. And they're doing 6 figures a month in a market that they never show up to, right? They are at their place in their office, and they've got contractors and lenders and real estate agents, a full team, a full arsenal of people. And that's $1 million year. That's actually a multi-million-dollar year by the time he's done at the end of the year. And they started fresh, right? They started in the program. They started with the blank canvas, ready to learn. And they are scaling. They're scaling like crazy. I'm very proud of these people. I've got hundreds of these. I just want to show you a few of these. So yes, it does work. Doesn't matter if you're experienced. Doesn't matter if you're trying to go from a couple flips a year to 10 flips a year. It doesn't matter if you're brand new. Wet behind the ears is what they call it. This stuff works, and it works very, very effectively. All right, so who am I? Right, again, favorite investor, your boy Jake, a.k.a. Jake Light. Top left there, that's my family. This is the reason I do this. I've got 3 kids, and then Carlene there in the middle making her pucker face. The one right there in between us, that's Avery. She's 2. Right next to her is Alyssa. Right next to Carlene is Alyssa. She's 7. She just started 2nd grade. And then that's Jacob. He's 5. He just started kindergarten. We just moved to Tennessee, and we love it here. We like going outdoors, hikes, just spending time together as a family. For me personally, my dad worked long hours growing up, and I had great parents. They weren't, entrepreneurs or real estate investors or, lower middle class out of Stockton, California. But he didn't have weekends off. And I remember when I was in school, I would have weekends off and play baseball games or whatever it was, my sports stuff, my events. A lot of them were on the weekend, and he was working. And so something that's really important for me once I really started gaining momentum and flipping is I wanted to buy my time back. And so there's a picture of me right there, me and my son just cheesing it. You will never find me with a Cubs hat on outside of coaching, or any hat outside of the Dodgers, by the way. But I coach my kids' teams, right? Like, I am there at practice. Like, he says, my dad is the coach. If I get a kid that's sick and needs to stay home from school, I can stay home with them, right? I don't spend a ton of time because my systems are automated in this business. I've flipped, 964 houses up to this point in the last 10 and a half years. And that's what's truly important to me. My why, I think that's what people call it. My why is my family. My why is also buying my time back to live life on my own terms. I'm not living for someone else's dreams. I'm not slaving away at a 9 to 5 so that the manager or the business owner, that they can profit off of me. My success is in my own hands because of what flipping houses, leveraging OPM has been able to do for me, and a few of these processes and secrets that I've learned along the way. A lot of smart people have taught me this. A lot of very rich people have taught me different parts of this game, and it's my job to pay it forward, which is why I started these programs. I really enjoy doing it, but I wouldn't be able to do it if I didn't automate my real estate investing portfolio. Okay, and then the bottom one, that's me. I don't do these super often. I used to, be like a keynote speaker and advanced coach on some of these seminar companies. They used to get a kick out of me because everybody else would be wearing a suit, and I would come in with, Chuck Taylors on and a t-shirt or shorts and flip-flops, and I'd be on stage in front of 400, 500, 600 people just talking about the game, talking about what's been working for me. And I really enjoyed that, but then I started having kids. My wife and I started having kids. I didn't like flying around the country. I wanted to be at home. I want to spend time at home, right? Doing the family thing. What's the point of all of this if I can't be with the ones that I love? And don't get me wrong, I love teaching. I love talking about what this game has provided to me. But ultimately, I do this so I can have a schedule to live my life on my own terms. And it's very freeing. It's very rewarding. And it makes everything kind of go. But yeah, the one on the bottom, that's I was passing through town. I was actually going to shoot some content for the coaching program. Walking through a couple of flips. This is probably 6 months ago or so. And one of the agents said, hey, a lot of people in my office follow you on social media. Would you mind coming and just talking? Give a presentation for an hour. I don't care what it's for. And that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that too. I get to do what I love. I love my family. I love real estate. I love teaching. I love talking in general. And, having a process where most of it is automated really allows me to work as much or as little as I want while maintaining the momentum that I've created, and teach it to other people all over the country and all over the world. All right. So again, I want to reiterate, my students have flipped over 1,000 houses using other people's money. That number will be doubled by the end of this year. A lot of times when people start having success, they don't want that spotlight on them, and that's okay. So this is just the people that are willing to share pictures when they walk through their flips or when they're at the signing table. Up there in the top right with the orange X, that's Bridget. Bridget is one of my favorite investors because she gets in there. She's not intimidated by contractors. Sometimes she likes to go and pick out some of the finishes, and she shares a lot on social media. She's made a few $100,000. We've got Nelfie on the far right there. I think we actually already talked about her. I had her in a different picture. She's on her second or third flip, and she's getting close to $100,000. We have Allie on the bottom there with the blue cabinets sitting on the countertop there. Her and her boyfriend Johnny, they're over $200,000 in money made and profit made flipping houses. She quit her nursing job. She wasn't feeling comfortable with it, and because of what she was creating with flipping and was making more money, she left the hospital, and now she just kind of does nursing on a per diem basis, only takes jobs as she wants to, living life on her own terms. And that's different for everybody. Some people want to do 25 flips a year. Some people want to do 100 flips a year. Some people just want one or two, and that's totally fine. But using this process, using these strategies, you literally can take your pick on what you want your life to look like, how busy or free you want your schedule to look. And it's a very, very rewarding thing. So I can't wait until the next time I do one of these, because I'm going to be able to put over 2,000 in our coaching group. So how to get started, click the link below. And by the way, there's a picture of me and Eddie. I actually went to Vegas, and I always have my house flipping shirts on. I went to Vegas. Eddie lives in Vegas. He works a double shift in the hospitality industry. He's got 2 different jobs. He's very, very busy. His schedule is a little crazy. Got a wife. I think he's got 3 kids now, 2-3 kids. And we were in Vegas, and I sent him a DM, and I got to walk through one of his flips with him. We did a little live on Instagram. We did, we got to shoot content and hang out, and his family came from another country, and he told me he actually had video of it. That's not something that we share publicly as far as the video is concerned, but his mom didn't know that he was flipping houses. She just came to the United States in pursuit of the American dream, and he showed her, I think his first or his second flip. He blindfolded her, brought her in the house, and opened it up and said, "Mom, I bought this, and I'm going to make $50,000 off of this. I'm selling this to a new family. It's their dream home. I did all of this." And she was crying and so proud of her son. And so I got to walk through the house. Obviously, I was in Vegas for other reasons, having a good time. But I got to stop and talk to him. This is one of my favorite pictures because of that. It just kind of reminds me that there's people all over the country in all sorts of different situations that are all benefiting from this system, from this process. Doesn't matter if they have a ton of money or zero money. It doesn't matter if they're an agent or have a PhD or if they have a high school diploma. It doesn't matter if they know construction like the back of their hand, or if they're like me and don't know anything about construction. This game provides opportunity to anyone that's willing to understand the process and then pursue it relentlessly. So if you're interested, click the link below. We do consultations, free strategy sessions. There's no pressure, but you can have any of your questions answered. We have programs for everybody. There's a number of them now at this point. It can help people that are beginners, people that are trying to go from a flip a year, 2 flips a year to 10. And then we've got people that are really trying to scale and go from 10 to 100. Regardless of where you lie on that spectrum, we've got something for you. If that's something you want to learn, click that link. Again, it's free. You'll be able to submit a short application so we understand kind of what type of program is applicable for you. And then you'll schedule a call with my team. There are people on my team that have gone through our programs, so they're going to answer your questions very, very transparently and candidly and give you real, raw feedback about what it takes, about what the process is, and how they got their start, answering any questions that you have along the way, making sure that we can help you based on your goals. And it's a pretty cool thing. So click that link. I'll see you on the other side. It's been real. Thanks for watching this presentation, and happy investing, y'all. Take it easy.